Moscow the advanced S-300 air defense missile system. Its next stop may be Tehran.
We've been making very clear that our objections to any sale of this missile system to Iran, as I said, for quite some time, and we're continuing to monitor it closely.
In Iranian hands, the S-300 could mean U.S. and Israeli warplanes likely could not sneak undetected into Iranian airspace if they wanted to bomb Iran's nuclear weapons sites. Bombing the S-300 radar and missiles first gives the Iranians warning an attack would be on the way. While the U.S. says the sale is legal under UN resolutions, the State Department isn't backing down.
Now we need to know more about the specifics of this proposed transfer to determine whether any domestic U.S. sanction programs may be implicated.
Secretary of State John Kerry raising concerns with the Russians that Iranian Revolutionary Guard commander Qasem Soleimani recently traveled to Moscow. The U.S. doesn't know if he was there to finalize the deal that may put the entire region even more on edge.
The airspace will be more tense. It will be filled up with more radar beams, if you will, invisible and yet ever present, and they will be radar signals that we can't easily stop or evade.
Russian meddling in the Middle East and Europe infuriating to the U.S. This comes as 5,000 troops from the U.S. and NATO are conducting the largest airborne training exercise in Europe since the Cold War, making sure they can jump into a battle under fire and fight together.
Along with diplomatic tools and economic tools, I think Russia certainly has the message.
But with Russian-backed violence in eastern Ukraine escalating, Putin may not be listening. He's been busy polishing up his action man image with a new adventure, descending into a submersible mini-sub in Crimea, the Ukrainian territory occupied by the Russians for over a year.
Hailed by some as the agreement of the century, the nuclear deal with Iran still needs to get the green light from US lawmakers. The September vote is heading towards a bitter standoff between President Obama and Congress. And the rhetoric around it has been escalating. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump has said that accepting the deal would, quote, lead to a nuclear holocaust. Well, people have also taken to social media to voice their concerns with numerous petitions on the Iranian Accord circulating around the web. RT's Gayane Chichakyan brings us more on that.
With the prospect of the Iran deal failing in Congress, the Obama administration is going out of its way to get its message across.
By killing this deal, Congress would not merely pave Iran's pathway to a bomb, it would accelerate it.
In go all arguments. Sanctions will not hold.
We cannot dictate the foreign, economic, and energy policies of every major power in the world.
The U.S. will lose credibility with international partners.
We turn around and nix the deal and then tell them you're going to have to obey our rules on the sanctions anyway. That is a recipe very quickly, my friends, business people here, for the American dollar to cease to be the reserve currency of the world.
Allies will walk away from the U.S. on other issues as well.
That is a recipe quickly, my friends, for them to walk away from Ukraine, where they are already very dicey and ready to say, well, we've done our bit.
But no argument seems to persuade those who staunchly oppose the deal.
Greatly saddened, sickened, and frustrated over this deal.
I believe it weakens our national security, and it makes the world a more dangerous place.
On television, a war of ads began.
Congress should reject a bad deal.
With celebrities deployed to help the deal pass the legislature.
And the alternative to that is war.
War with Iran is a really bad idea.
The worst idea ever.
Look, we all love our children, and the Iranians love their children.
Do me a favor, okay? Don't let some hot-headed member of Congress screw that up.
The Obama administration has also created a separate social media account for the Iran deal and recently posted a meme, to engage young people in the conversation. This one. It is a reference to the rap classic Straight Outta Compton. But the message was largely ridiculed on Twitter. One says, "This is juvenile, I weep for my country." The other goes, "Satire is dead, actual text-funded tweet by your White House, #Sleep Tight America." Some responded with their own captions. This is one of them. At this point, it seems the Obama administration has tried everything to convince opponents that it is, in fact, a good deal. In Washington, I'm Ganesh Chekyan, RT.
Staying with Germany, where the country's army has come under fire at home for what's being dubbed by some as war propaganda. That's after it intensified its recruitment attempts targeting classrooms. Peter Oliver reports.
For 60 years, the German army, the Bundeswehr, has been charged with protecting the people of Germany from external threats and natural disasters. Its recent diamond anniversary saw the German people salute their men and women in uniform.
I wanted to see all the tech that they use, the stuff you see on TV. It's very cool.
I like the aircraft and pilots. That's awesome.
I'm very positively surprised, and everything is so military here. I like it.
Until the 1990s, the German military were largely restricted to operations inside their own borders. Kosovo, and in particular Afghanistan, changed that. Now involved in many other theatres around the world, it's estimated that to maintain operational strength, it needs 15,000 new recruits each year. And it's been turning to schools to make up the numbers. That's seen a backlash from groups who don't think the classroom is the place.
Now, Article 9 of the country's constitution states the Japanese people forever renounce war and will never have any land, sea, or air forces along with any other military potential. But the bill imposed by the Japanese cabinet, led by Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, would allow the country to help its allies if there was a threat to Japanese survival. Using force, if there's no other way to eliminate a threat to national security, is also allowed. The Japanese government has defended the move, saying there will be no change to the constitution, just the way it's interpreted. The bill also comes at a time of rising tension surrounding the continued presence of the 23 U.S. military bases across Japan.